We are back with Robert Scoble, Scobleizer himself. He is going to be talking with us today about the advantages that Tesla has. Yes, there's going to be a whole bunch of different robotaxi companies out there in the future. Surely. Zoox, Waymo, Cruise, who knows? A bunch of Chinese competitors and a bunch of other competitors in the US, many of whom will be at CES, but I don't think I'm going. That's mentioned in this video today. If you're a company that really needs to get me there, by all means reach out to me, but I just don't have the budget to do all the things that I want to do. I can only do some of the things I want to do. That's less fun. So we're going to be talking about the differences that Tesla has over the competition. Robert is such a wealth of knowledge. He spends all day studying so that when it's time to talk, he actually knows all the things. It's amazing. So guys, here we are. Let's do it. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. So here we are in part 3. We are talking about the market advantage that Tesla will have. I've got some choices. It's 2 years, 3 years from now, I might buy some Waymos for my fleet or some Cruises or some Zooxes. Why should I buy Tesla? Why should I buy the Cybercab instead of those?
Well, start with the back to manufacturing again. It's lighter, cheaper, right? It goes further on a charge because it's lighter and better design. It doesn't have a big set of NVIDIA cards in the trunk, right? Because Elon did his own AI computer in the glove compartment, basically, right? And he decided on camera only a long time ago. 14 years ago, he decided on this. Everybody else decided to go with Lidars, which are these, if you see a Waymo, it has a spinning thing on top, which puts 80 lasers and makes a 3D map of the world around it, right? Well, Tesla does that with cameras. Now, I've talked to the Ford CTO. He says cameras are the way to go. Sebastian Thrun, even, who started the Waymo company and was the first team at Stanford. He ran the team at Stanford University, which won the DARPA Grand Challenge back in the old days of autonomous cars. He said he chose Lidars, and he said, I chose Lidars because we didn't have enough compute. Well, Moore's law continues to work, and computers continue to get smaller and smaller and more efficient and more powerful. So now we're at the place where it's caught up, and cameras now are driving my car around. And I had so many arguments with AI people about this. Oh, you need Lidars to drive a car around. No, you don't. No, you don't. Right. And now we recognize that because we're here, but so many people give me hell for that because I've been covering this for a while.
You may have written a book or two and chatted with a disruptor or 100 in your time. That's the thing with Lidar, is not only is it moving pieces, it's extremely high precision moving pieces, and moving parts are.
And it changes their own dynamics of the car, right? So because there's a big thing sticking up out of the roof of the car, right? That changes the aerodynamics. That means it's not as efficient. It adds weight to the car. So now your car doesn't go quite as far on the same battery charge, even if everything else was the same.
And it's pulling a lot of juice.
It looks dystopian, man.
It's what the joke I always like to do is
in San Francisco. Come on.
The joke I like to do is I will have a guest on and I'll say, I challenge you to look at this picture and find the sensors. And then I put up Waymo, and it gets a laugh. It gets a laugh because I think I can find them. I think I can spot the sensors.
Yeah, there's actually 19 cameras on a Waymo, according to their engineers, and there's a Lidar on each corner of the car spinning around, right? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 minimum. Is there one? Is there a couple in the middle? There's certainly a big one on the top, which is 80 lasers, right? So there's a lot of cost, even if those things get fairly cheap, $100 each. Because they used to be tens of thousands of dollars each, right? When they first started doing this, even if they're $100 each, that's $400 just in the corners of the car, and $200 more on the roof, right? And they have an LED screen up there too, which tells the pedestrians, your car's coming for you, that kind of thing. This is just so much cheaper to run than a Waymo. And it's also something that you're probably going to want to buy and put in your own garage. I want one. I
Hmm.
want one in the worst way because I'm already into the by the way, Google's head of R&D told me, "We know that after 3 rides in an autonomous car, you're probably never gonna drive again, or you'll drive on a racetrack or a curvy road on a sunny day, but in traffic, going to work, who wants to drive? You wanna look at your phone or watch a movie or, sleep or whatever, right?" My
Well,
friend
you and
Andy
I,
drives an hour and a half each way to Palo Alto to go work at Walmart Corporation, right? He lives in Sacramento. He has a Model 3. He says it's a life changer to have a autonomous car driving you both ways, right?
I could not have gone to San Jose last week if it was just me in charge of micromanaging every inch of the drive for 14 hours each direction. And really,
Yeah,
it was 12. And then I stayed in Santa Rosa. So 2 and 2 there and 12 back. But yeah, it is. The other thing that's crazy is Waymo's approach is start with an entire car,
yeah,
add a bunch of things that don't belong, that have never been crash tested,
yeah,
that we know of, that could be deadly to pedestrians. We don't have enough data.
yeah,
And now you're starting with a car that's going to cost 2, 3 times as much. You have to
yeah,
recover all that. And at the end of the day, you've got a car that's only going to last 100, 150,000 miles,
yeah,
where the Cybercab is designed for 3, 4, 500,000.
yeah,
So there,
yeah.
the business
But
case is insane.
but it adds to the experience too, because if you have things on the car, that are hanging out like the lidars are, they disturb the air going over it,
Oh
makes
yeah.
more noise. They
Oh yeah.
also don't control what's kind of sound system is put in the car, and they haven't been able to engineer the car for sound. I got a tour of Harman, which is now owned by Samsung. They make speakers like JBL.
Mhm.
JBL for Toyota. They make the head units for Toyota, right? When you
Hmm.
go and see a Toyota RAV4, it has a little JBL sticker on it. Well, they made the whole dashboard for Toyota. Well, those people are really good with small speakers, and if you can engineer where the small speakers are around you, you can play a lot of tricks to make that thing sound badass.
Hmm.
Right? That's what
Well,
speaker designers are doing now is taking small little speakers that are cheap from China and putting them in cabinets to make them sound bassier, right? My Sonos has a you should go watch some of the videos on the new Sonos Arc Ultra soundbar and how much they're moving air through fins and into cavities and to make the thing sound richer from a cheap ass little speaker, right?
hmm. That's an interesting way to conserve the materials that are critical for making them,
And make a
and it
better
and
experience.
make a better experience.
By the
And
way,
if you, yeah,
my wife and I argue over vents. Everybody doesn't understand why I talk about vents so much and why I argue with Mercedes-Benz about these digital vents. When we had Toyotas, I would get in her car and I like air right on my face. She hates that. She wants it off to somewhere else. She doesn't want it on her face. So every time I'd get in her car, I'd change the vents to be on my face. And then she would get in the car and go, damn it. Right. And she'd have to move them back. We don't have that argument in a Tesla anymore.
no, because it's part of your profile.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and the
Hmm.
vents change digitally. They're digital vents. They move the air. You
Right.
can change where they're aiming and the velocity and all sorts of stuff right on your screen. It's that kind of thinking of experience that's going to matter. Because if let's say you're a normal everyday dude, you go to Las Vegas on vacation, you get out of the airport there with your baggage, and you got three choices to make. There's a Waymo, there's a Zoox, there's a Tesla. Which one do you choose? The one that has the best experience in it.
Yeah. Well, and is
Assuming the
cheaper.
price is the same.
Right.
But
And is
even assuming the price is the same, you're gonna choose
hmm.
you're gonna choose the one that has the better experience. "Oh, I get in the Tesla so quiet and my music sounds better," right? My vents are automatic. They match, me
Well, and
with my
that's
Tesla in
yeah.
my garage, right?
Well, that's the thing is you order it on your app. That means when you get in the car, you don't have to sync anything. It knows who you are. Your
Big
Spotify is there.
yeah,
Your Netflix is already logged in for you and unlogs when you get out. So and because people have said, someone's asked, is it going to be a media Play Center. And they said, absolutely. He goes, aha, that means that you're going to have CarPlay. And he didn't say that to the engineer, but I said, that doesn't mean that to me. It
No.
means it'll be linked to your existing Tesla account that you have. And guess what? If you don't have a Tesla at home, you can still get the app. You can
Yeah.
still link all your stuff.
I let my best friend drive my Tesla. He has it on his app. His seat settings are set on my Tesla, right? When he gets a chance to drive my Tesla, it all changes to him, and it's
Yeah.
personalized.
Yeah. So on the app, it can do just about anything. In my little town, I don't know if we even have Uber. I know we used to, but I don't know if it's active at this time.
Yeah.
But if I had a Cybercab, I would probably let it be available locally, because
Yeah.
why not? It's
There's
something
13
that
Teslas on my street alone, right? Why why wouldn't we all let each other drive Teslas around and make a
right.
little extra money? Or, plus I want a Cybertruck for Friday night,
Well,
right?
yeah,
Or I
and
want
that's
a robo van for going to Napa with the friends.
yeah.
Hey, come to we'll all go in the robo van and go
And that's a
drinking.
fundamental shift people are going to have to make. Is I've seen people say, well, I would let the Cybercab out, but then when I need it, I want it back. And I'd say, take a different one. Who
Yeah,
cares?
yeah,
And by the way, for anyone watching, I am not at this time planning to go to CES this year because of budgetary constraints. So if you have a booth and really need me there, reach out. Maybe you could sponsor and help me get to CES, because I've had to scale back my trips. Last year I did in 24, I've done 6 countries and 26 states. And that, I mean, it definitely takes a toll, as you can see, but it also costs money. So
yeah.
something to think about for any vendors or, companies out there that might need some love.
Yeah.
I'm
We
very
didn't
good at
even
asking
talk about it.
questions.
You saw the car. You figured it out at a deep level, right? From the tires to the engines to the seats to the roof to everything, right? The thinking that went into that. They're not telling you about AI yet, right? They didn't show
No.
you a new Grok that's going to control the car, or argue with you. Hey, Grok, I want to go in and out. And oh, which one? There's three. And by the way, it'll know how many, which one has the shortest lines.
Yeah.
Because there's a Tesla at each one of those. There's Teslas everywhere here in Silicon Valley, as you know. There's a Tesla in the line. It knows how long the line is, so the AI can know which place has the shortest line and take you there, right, and route you around that. I mean, you have FSD in yours, right?
Yes.
Does it take you on weird routes once in a while?
Yeah, of course. Of
All the
course.
time. It's taken me through weird ass neighborhoods. Like, where are you taking me, Tesla? But when you start looking at the map, you realize it's routing you around something that's blocked, right? Or it figured out there's more traffic on that route, and it's taking you on this route. So it's optimizing. This was what I talked with Uber's founder at Stanford University. Optimization. The Tesla's going to get to you faster because it's better optimized.
Yes. And yeah, it'll take you off the freeway if there's an accident ahead and it knows that this way is, a few minutes quicker. And me and the other Teslas get off the highway. And I'm like, yes, yes. It's our little posse visiting the neighborhood.
Yeah.
There's endless opportunities like that. Someone said, well, what if I go in a robotaxi through a drive-through? Does it know to stop at the order window? I said, I mean, probably not yet, but
It does.
oh, it does. That's hilarious.
How about you should try FSD and see how
I'm going to.
now it's not perfect, right? So you got to watch it, but it does. It
I will
stops at
try
the
it.
sign, and then you have to sort of sometimes
Nudge
urge
it.
it to go to the next
Yeah.
window, but
The
it'll figure that out soon enough.
by the way, at the We Robot, they were using V13 with a skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
in case you were curious,
Yeah.
so
Plus, they
and
did a lot of engineering. They had a lot of Starlink stuff on the buildings around it, and they
okay,
spent a
okay,
month. They spent a
you.
month there dialing in FSD
Mhm.
13 to make sure it really worked and didn't cause a crash. There was no crashes. I have videos of cars stopping for each other, right? And there was no problems, right? Because it's pretty good.
So we did ask, were there teleoperators for 1010? And the answer was no. There were no
Not for the cars.
teleoperators. Not for the, well, Right, not for the cars.
there were
Yeah,
there were teleoperators for the
Optimus.
Optimus, but not for the
Yeah,
cars.
I was a
And
little
even that,
disappointed by that, but
no, you
uh,
shouldn't be actually.
I
This is
am
a real deep.
deeply.
This is a deep misunderstanding of how of a key feature in Optimus. 20 years from now, teleoperation is going to be something you're going to use a lot because you're going to be able to be on a business trip and hop inside the Optimus and cook dinner with your wife or play a game with your kids. And it's going to be mind blowing. It's how they're training the AI. And you're seeing that just today. A video came out of it, walking down a slippery hill and figuring out how to
Yeah,
steady
catching
itself,
itself. Yeah,
right? And doing all sorts of stuff. So they're starting to really advance the AI because of the teleoperation operation.
sure.
That was a lot of engineering to make 20 robots, all even if a human was totally operating it, which it wasn't. The AI was walking it and steadying itself and doing some other things. But there was 20 people in VR headsets in a building somewhere teleoperating that in a low latency way where you could have crowds of people around it, and there was only one that fell the whole night,
Oh, I
right?
didn't see that one.
Yes, nobody took video of it, but I heard somebody saw one fall, right? And I've talked to a lot of people there, so right. So that's really a mind blow. I toured a lot of humanoid robot companies. They don't have teleoperation operations as good as this one, right? This is really pretty good. So,
Yeah, and I'll tell you the teleoperation that did impress me was catching the balls was
yeah,
apparently done with teleoperation. That
yeah,
impresses me more than if it caught it itself because it's so tricky.
yeah.
So, Robert, we have spent 500 years. I appreciate growing old together in this space. This has been a lot of fun, and I will, absolutely have you back, guys. In the comments, what questions should I have asked? Because clearly we
Infinite.
have
I mean,
infinite content.
the
Yeah,
AI, we could spend hours just thinking through, what is the next, because Grok is going to get major upgrades next year. You're going
yeah,
to see Grok go very multimodal. In other words, you can use the phone and it'll tell you about a street sign. It'll translate a street sign, right? So if you don't read English and you are in a cybercab, it'll that'll be something that gets personalized to you, right? The experience of being in a cybercab is going to be next level, and Grok is going to do that in a restaurant, so you can use the translation features in restaurants, right? Or
sure.
on sign. I went to Spain and take pictures of signs, send them to Chat GPT. It tells me all about that. Or aim it at some art. It tells you about the artist. Right? It's endless. By the way, it knows
Yeah,
everything at Disneyland.
that's funny.
If you're not using an AI at Disneyland, you're missing out.
That's funny. I will have to try that should I make it to Disneyland. The guys, if you're not following AI, I get it because it's hard. There's a lot to know, and you don't know which companies to follow. So what you should do is follow Robert because he, what is the count that you're up to in terms of ones that you're actively following? Like
I'm following
580.
Well, I'm following 25,000 people in AI and 5,800 companies, all in lists on my matrix. I use X Pro, so I can see the whole world. Just it's rolling by it right now on the screen, so I can look over it and see what the Tesla community is doing, in real time.
That's funny. In my head, I had the right numbers, but the wrong order of magnitude 5,800. So you don't need, guys, you don't need to know everything. Just follow Robert because he's got his eye on it and he can tell you what's going on. And he's
The
a great
the
follow. And
the,
he has,
the pros are writing their own AIs to watch the lists.
that's funny.
gotta
I have,
gotta write a little weekend project. Teach your AI agents to do things. By the way, this is going to be part of the new Grok. It's going to do all sorts of things based on your voice or you're pointing at it. Right? Hey, can you research? Like I bought my tires on AI.
hmm,
ChatGPT is really advanced at telling you the difference between Michelin and Continental and all the different tire brands. And, oh, I'm a performance driver. I'm going to take them on the track. What kind of tire should I get? Oh, I'm in snow. I need snow tires. What kind of tire? It tells you, right? It's really good at that kind of thing. And so Grok is going to be really good at doing that kind of research and going out and finding you the cheapest price on your next tire, stuff like that, right? From your phone. And that has
It's
deep
yeah.
implications for our that's when we really can have fun and think through, "Oh, shit, what are we gonna use cars to do?" Particularly when we have an Optimus and we have a Grok in our hands.
When I was driving down to the X takeover with 2 of my boys,
Yeah.
we got bored of Spotify, so we Bluetooth the phone to the car, and we started making our own music on AI.
Yeah,
And we would put in just anything you can dream up.
yeah,
I played it for a friend of mine in Texas. I said, "Just give me a genre, give me some keywords," and he went ridiculous and tried to challenge it, and I hit go, and within 15 seconds, I hit play, and he said his response was, "Oh, no."
yeah.
Yeah,
Re
yeah.
Here's one. You're gonna have music made by the signs you're going past.
"Oh, narrate my drive in a musical." Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This
Or the historical landmarks you're driving by. It knows what those are all too, right? You know? So
so guys, in the comments, what did we miss? What do we misunderstand? Big
everything.
thanks to Robert for
We're
coming
gonna
out.
hopefully we can do this 100 times more so that we can
Uh,
answer everybody's questions because it's endless how this changes. I mean, I wrote a whole book on spatial computing, right? So there's a lot.
yeah.
And that was 5 years ago. Now I have a lot more.
Yeah. All righty, guys. So everybody
Thank you
else,
so much.
like,
And thanks
subscribe,
for
do the
doing those
usual stuff.
videos. They taught me
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much, got me so excited about Cybercab. I'm like, oh man, they have thought through everything. How is
They
Toyota
really
going to
have.
compete with this? I'm happy. I'm really happy as a Tesla shareholder. So
Yeah. All righty, guys. So stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots. Yes, really robots in the next video.